Disclaimer, all movies and TV shows chosen for this tier list were chosen because me and Oakley had actually seen them. If your favourite movie or TV show that is a video game adaptation is missing from this tier list, it is probably because we hadn't seen it and didn't feel qualified to judge it. Thank you for your understanding and enjoy the content. Hi and welcome back to the Helpware Nerds YouTube channel. Today we're going to do a tier list on video game movie adaptations and are they good or not? So, we've got some wild takes. And just to preface, this is based on our recollection of the movie. None of us have gone back and watched these films.
We probably should have.
We probably should have, because I can't remember half of them. So it's just based off, like, what my nostalgic brain is telling me I thought of the movie when I watched it. But then some of them I have strong opinions on. So it's going to vary either way. But if you have strong opinions on where we put these, let us know in the comments. Tell us we're idiots. And tell us why we're idiots. Because I have a feeling that that's going to happen.
Yeah.
So. Let's actually get to the tier list. We've got Perfect, which we've both agreed we don't think any of these are gonna make it in there.
Yeah.
Almost Perfect, Good Enough, Room for Improvement, and one where some controversial ones is gonna end up terrible.
Yeah.
The movies we've picked are Assassin's Creed, Borderlands, Detective Pikachu, Fallout, which is a TV show, so that's our wild card one. Hey, Mortal Kombat, the original, not the remake. Yeah. The Sonic franchise, we're lumping it all together. Tomb Raider, 2018. Uncharted, World of Warcraft, and the Super Mario Brothers movie, which is going to be your controversial.
Yeah, it's gonna be a bit of a hectic one.
Yes. So, where should we start?
At the beginning, Assassin's Creed, the first one.
Okay, so we're going to start at the very beginning. A very good place to start, according to Maria von Trapp.
Yeah. Alright. So.
Okay, so where are you putting it?
So, I think the Assassin's Creed film gets way, way, way too much hate. The Animus is my main point of contention. The machine that they use, you know.
Yeah.
It shouldn't have a big arm. You shouldn't be running through it and all that sort of stuff. You should be it's like a sleep chamber. That's the best way to put it. You go in it and then the tippy-tappy on the code and then it uses your genes to like send you through your own memories.
It's like VR, like the VR things in anime, but you're going back in your own history rather than into a video game.
Yeah, but obviously in the film it went a different direction, which I understand that they wanted to do their own thing, but also it kind of ruins the Animus, in my opinion.
Yeah. They also, while it is established, and I know some people disagree on this point, but I think it is established that they do retain the skills of their ancestors when they come back out of the Animus. I think the movie went a bit too over the top with it.
Yeah.
And a bit too quick on him retaining all of the assassin skills.
Yeah.
And kind of brought it more into the modern day, and we didn't really get to see much of what was supposed to happen in the past, which is the fun of Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, because in the Assassin's Creed games, with Desmond, he retains a lot of what he learns as Ezio and as Altair. But he's not sat there running around the whole place doing parkour in the first game. It takes all the way up until about Brotherhood, and even then, he's no Ezio.
No.
He's no Altair.
It's just muscle memory based on what they've already established that they've been doing as Ezio and Altair.
Yeah.
It's not that they immediately get all those skills. They're not become Taskmaster from Marvel Comics. Like, I think the movie took a bit too much liberties, but like you, I thought we were going to disagree on this, but it looks like we're on the same page. I don't think it's as bad as it's widely known as on the internet.
It gets way too much hate. I feel like...
I mean, all the Reddit posts about how shit this movie is just excessive. It's not great.
Yeah.
But is it terrible? Can we put it in terrible? No. I'd say room for improvement.
I'd say that'd be too low.
Do you think it's good enough?
I think it's good enough because there's two things that let it down, and only two things, which are the too much time in the future. It shouldn't have that much time, and the muscle memory. But that was already kind of established in the game, so they just did it too fast. So I feel like it's good enough.
Yeah, I can see your point there, and to be honest, when you think about Assassin's Creed, I think the main people's sticking point is that it spends too much time in the future. So I think that's why I said there's room for improvement with it. But I'm actually thinking on, did I enjoy the film when I watched it? And yeah.
Yeah, so did I.
I did. If I took away what I was expecting from it, I enjoyed it. So yeah, it's good enough.
Yeah. Alright.
Good enough. Okay. I haven't actually seen this one, so this is all you.
Alright, so Borderlands. Everyone sat there like, it wasn't a good film, it wasn't a good film. It wasn't the best, I'll give you that. It was not the best film, but it was a good adaptation. The main issue with a lot of people is the actors, which I understand you don't like the actors. That's you. I don't think that Kevin Hart should have played... Oh, what's his name? The soldier. Kevin Hart should not have played him. He's too... funny.
Isn't he also described as like a big buff dude, and Kevin Hart's main draw point, the thing that he also makes fun of in his own shows, is that he's short.
Yeah, exactly. It's if anyone, Terry Crews should have played that role. If you wanted a bit of humour along with the role, which I feel like he shouldn't have personally, but it is what it is. If they wanted humour, I feel like they should have gone with someone bigger with humour.
Terry Crews would have probably fit that if that's what they're going for, like you say.
Yeah.
I mean, I've not played a lot of Borderlands, or I haven't seen the film myself, but I can understand the problem that comes about a lot of the time is people are expecting a one-to-one adaptation. So they're expecting the video game brought to life on screen, and adaptations don't work that way.
Yeah.
Things get changed.
See, what Borderlands did as well was it mixed multiple games. It mixed Borderlands 1 and both of the Tales from the Borderlands games, I feel like, which is a brave thing to do, but I think that it worked. I feel like it really, really worked, but people wanted it to be, this is a one-to-one copy of the first game, and then the second game, and then the third, but the way that they did it, like I say, it worked. And also, a drawback for me is how old Tiny Tina is. She shouldn't have been that old yet. She should have been younger, because she's in like teens, I'd say, in the film. Well, not teens, but early teens.
Yeah.
But in the games, when she first appears, she's younger than that. She's a kid.
Yeah, and I think they tend to age things up so they can be a bit more, I wouldn't say inappropriate, but like adult with certain jokes and things.
But the thing with Tiny Tina, though, is she's a kid, but she's insane. She does a bunch of stuff, like, for example, she kills people as a kid.
Not to be on corporate side, because I don't like to do that, but if you take that side, maybe they were worried that the mass audience that wasn't Borderlands fans would find that unnerving from a kid.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's just coming from someone who hasn't seen the film.
Yeah.
So, like...
Well, I think that you've got a point there. I feel like, and also they didn't want to subject a kid to that sort of behaviour.
Yeah, right. That's just coming from someone with no connection to this film or game franchise. So, but where would you put it?
See, I'd say if it weren't for Krieg, for me, it'd be almost perfect. But the entire point of him is he's really smart, and he turns into a psycho. So he acts like an idiot, and we don't have the internal monologue that you usually have with him. So I'd say that's another one for good enough, in my opinion.
Okay.
As we add more, we might have to change our ranking on some of them.
Yes, we might. So, Detective Pikachu. Now, this one's a bit weird.
Yeah.
Because, as people will know if you've seen the film, and even if you've only seen the trailers, it is set in a video game world, but it is not technically an adaptation of the video game. Because you are not playing as a trainer catching Pokemon.
Yeah, but I like the retelling of it.
Yeah, it subverts your expectation for a Pokemon movie.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I think that's almost perfect.
Yeah.
Because we're not just seeing someone that's basically Ash Ketchum going through Pokemon battles, challenging the league. That would be boring for a movie.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
No,
like,
I 100%.
Like, even the anime, like with Ash, when they do anime movies, change it so that it's no longer him just going on that adventure. Something happens, like Mew breaks out of the lab and they have to deal with whatever Mew's doing. Or there's a Pokemon god and Ash has to battle a Pokemon god, which somehow he wins, but he can't win a Pokemon League until the very end of the anime. But you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So
I agree with you. Like I'd put it in almost perfect or perfect because I like the retelling.
Yeah, the story was interesting. The fact that they used familiar characters like Mew, Mewtwo, and we had a talking Pokemon, and it was explained.
Yeah.
In an interesting way, and I mean, I think Ryan Reynolds did a good job as playing a Pikachu.
Yeah, he did.
So,
well, I mean, it's Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah. So
get some brownie points there anyway.
So yeah, I think this film was almost perfect.
Almost perfect.
Maybe if we'd have seen a couple more Pokemon battles, it could have made it to perfect.
Yeah,
but...
I like the kind of underground Pokemon battles as well.
Yeah,
they're really good.
I just if it had been more in like we'd have seen more like connected to the games, like the Pokemon centers and stuff like that, then maybe it could have got to perfect. But because it was not focused on that, it can't quite hit perfect because it wasn't focused on the game, so it's not an exact adaptation.
Yeah. So next,
Fallout. Now this is one I've seen and you haven't.
But I've played the games.
Yes. Now, I really enjoyed this show.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed how they showed the bunkers and the bunker life. I like how they showed the Brotherhood of Steel.
Mm-hmm.
They showed like all the different aspects of it. The ghoul. They gave us backstory and all that stuff. And it was compelling. I watched every single episode in one day.
Yeah.
And I think it did the one thing a good adaptation should do. It made me want to go play Fallout.
Yeah.
Like, I'd played some of Fallout before, but not the extensive catalogue. I finished Fallout and immediately went and downloaded Fallout 4 from chuffing PlayStation Plus because it was free on there.
Yeah.
And started playing it. So, that did what I think adaptations are meant to do.
Yeah.
Make you want to play the game.
Definitely. And from what I've heard of it, I haven't played it. I haven't watched it, but it is very, very, very similar, like almost 1-to-1 with the Fallout world.
Yeah.
Like, it shows the Brotherhood of Steel. It doesn't show the railway, does it? The railroad, whatever the name is.
I don't remember them showing that now. But we like I said, we get like the Ghoul before he was the Ghoul.
Yeah.
We get to see a pilot out of the armor,
Yeah.
like, as a steward. Then his actual knight dies and he steals the armor.
Yeah.
And he like then pretends to be the knight, and it's like, okay. We get to see into politics between the different bunkers. When people come in, we get to see all the stuff going off. The fact that her dad is one of the corrupt people that like did the bunkers in the first place. They delve into the backstory that basically say the company that built the bunkers are the ones that set off the nukes that started everything.
Yeah. Doesn't it also explain the experiments in the vaults?
Yeah.
Yeah, which Fallout does do, but in reading form, like the games.
Yeah, she ends up back in another bunker, the main character.
Yeah.
Well, one of the main characters. And it's one of the experimental bunkers.
Yeah.
And so you get to see some of the stuff. Like she finds out stuff that they do, and it's like, oh, this is fucked up.
Yeah, because the vaults were set up to experiment on people.
Yeah.
And
I say bunker, I meant vault.
Yeah.
Like, don't come for me. I knew what I meant, but I fucked up. Sorry.
Yeah, well, from what I've seen and what I'm hearing, I feel like this might be a perfect adaptation.
From what I've seen other people that have played more of the games say to me, the only thing that people I've seen pull it down for is they're not sure where in the timeline it fits. But I don't think that's a big enough reason to not give it a good score, because, like, maybe they'll explore that in season 2.
Yeah.
Like, we can go to places like New Vegas and maybe we see a crater and it's like, oh, this definitely takes place after New Vegas because it's been nuked. Or it takes place before because it's still here.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it'd be really, really... Because there's so much lore in the Fallout universe that they could use as well. I feel like that's why it's kind of up in the air, so that they can kind of choose when it is for season 2.
Or maybe it's its own thing that's just adapting parts of the game.
Yeah, maybe.
And, you know what? I think we're both in agreement that while this is the wild card, I think this one, based on what we've seen and what other people are saying, kind of fits here.
Yeah, I agree that it's perfect.
I don't see anyone else saying anything bad, and from what I've played and watching it, it did what it's supposed to. I played the game.
Yeah, that I completely wholeheartedly agree with you. That is perfect.
Yes. So this is the original Mortal Kombat. The cheesy one.
Okay, but cheesiness is part of the charm. Let's be honest.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna give you that. I mean, the fact that they still had the fight in it was funny as fuck. Cause I'm like, that wouldn't happen in a real martial arts tournament. You wouldn't have a big over voice going, fight.
Yeah, but also, Goro wouldn't be a 4-armed person. Wouldn't be in a normal martial arts.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying, like, it was cheesy. Like, they would. To be fair, this is one of those video game adaptations that, like, early video game adaptations always get bad raps. Like, oh, video game adaptations are all shit and all that stuff. This is one of those that tried to be so different and the same as the game at the same time that it's kind of funny. And that nostalgia funniness of it kind of makes it better than what it should be.
Exactly, and it's like they don't mess up Kung Lao or Liu Kang
No.
at all. Like, they nail the characters from what I can remember. Obviously, it's
Yeah.
been a few years, but
Need to rewatch this.
100%.
We'll rewatch this movie and then come back and see if we change our minds on where this goes on the ranking list.
We have to.
But from memory, I think it was good. I think it was good enough. I don't think it was almost perfect. I don't think it was perfect. I think it was good enough.
All right. I'll agree with that, but I feel like we'll have to move Assassin's Creed down if we do that.
I can agree with that.
Yeah.
I can agree with moving Assassin's Creed down because I was already in the room for improvement with Assassin's Creed.
Because like it nails the tournament as well. Like it's the
So I am fine with doing that. I am saying that is good enough and that had room for improvement. I am fine with that. The Sonic franchise. Let's go! Again, I didn't think we'd put any in there at all. But the studio listened.
Yeah.
When they had that god-awful CGI for Sonic.
Yeah.
The actor that plays Sonic nails the personality of Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah.
Shadow is menacing as fuck in the third film, which...
Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, which is Keanu Reeves, but still, it's perfect for Shadow.
Yeah.
Also, they nail Shadow's backstory.
Yeah.
Knuckles is funny and yet cool. Not including the TV show, this is just the films. But still, like, cool character, which is Knuckles, is supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
I like Tails, not as much as the others, but I do like Tails. Then, Dr. Eggman, it's Jim Carrey, so he's going to smash it out of the park. And the fact that in the third film, he pulls off playing two parts.
Yeah.
I think this is perfect.
Yeah, I agree with that. 100%. I feel like they listened to all the fans, they listened to everything that they had to do. The question is, though, is it better or worse than Fallout?
So, like I said, I've not played a lot of Fallout. So I can't judge it fully on the games. But I have played Sonic since I was a little kid. I've also watched quite a lot of the Sonic shows with the Sonic X, Sonic Underground, all that sort of stuff. So I personally think it's better.
Let's put it better then. Let's put it closer, like, to the left of Fallout.
Ooh. Oh. I think I have to do.
Right. Ooh.
There we go.
There you go.
There we go. I couldn't figure that out. And I was like, how does... People do this all the time on YouTube. How does this work? Okay, Tomb Raider. Again, I've mainly seen the original, but I have seen this one ages ago.
Okay, so, Tomb Raider. It's a good film. I'll say that it's a good film.
That's never a good start.
But, I don't know, I feel like there was just something missing.
If I remember rightly, didn't they try to Indiana Jones it quite a bit?
Yeah, it would too much like Indiana Jones more than anything. It's like... It was less of a Tomb Raider, and it was like they were trying to do Uncharted. That's what I would say.
See, when I remember watching this with my older sister, who in our D&D campaign has basically built her character to be Lara Croft.
Yeah.
And even she was like, why is Lara Croft just female Indiana Jones?
Yeah, it's...
Like, because Lara Croft, while there are definitely inspirations for both Uncharted and Tomb Raider in Indiana Jones, from Indiana Jones in both those games, they are not Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
But that one tried to draw too much on like Raiders and and even the worse ones like Kingdom of the Crystal Skull and stuff like that.
It kind of feels a bit. It feels like they only played the newer Tomb Raider game, and then they went, well, at the time the newer Tomb Raider game, then they went,
we're
we
gonna
can-
base. Yeah, it feels like it's based on the newest as of 2018
Yeah.
Tomb Raider game rather than the back catalog.
and then they just kind of went,
Our fans will be all right with this.
yeah, but they didn't really. To me, it didn't feel like Lara. It didn't.
So where are we putting it?
I'd say it's not a bad film. I enjoyed the film,
Room for improvement.
so I'd put it in room to improve. A very special thing for terrible.
Okay. This is gonna be a hot take. This, as a film, like Tomb Raider, was okay. However, don't crucify us. Tom Holland was a bad choice for Nathan Drake.
100%. He's not a bad actor. He
No.
did the best that he could. He acted like Nathan. I feel like
He tried.
he tried his best, and is a great actor.
He's one of my favourite actors in the MCU.
But why the hell wasn't Mark Nathan?
I don't know. It didn't make sense. Mark Wahlberg should have been Nathan Drake, and there was a name floated around by fans that should have played Sully, and I can't remember who it was. But when I saw it online, I was like, "That is perfect for Nathan and Sully. Why was that not our Nathan and Sully? Why have we got Tom Holland as Nathan? Because I'm sorry, all I could see when I was watching it, I even came out of watching it with my partner, going, "That was a cool Spider-Man movie." Like,
well, I feel like
he tried to be Nathan, but the scenes they gave him with all the parkour, just it was too like off the back of Spider-Man. They cast him because
I feel like I disagree on that. I feel like people only see Spider-Man because that's what he's known for.
I get what you're saying, but I also feel like that's why they cast him.
It probably is.
And I think that's why, like me and a lot of other people, that's all we could see.
Yeah. I feel like the actual film as a whole matches the energy of Uncharted.
Yeah, but the casting was wrong.
Yeah, so I feel like it can't be imperfect at all.
No.
Because the casting, like I said, every single actor was amazing in the role that they were in.
They tried to play the roles that they tried. But Mark Wahlberg actually did a decent Sully.
Yeah, because I mean it's Sully.
Yeah.
It's Mark. I mean, but I feel like he would have done an amazing Nathan, and he couldn't because
I just feel like casting Tom Holland made Nathan Drake too young as well.
Yeah, definitely. Because I mean, it might be because I'm used to Uncharted like 3 and 4.
But then it can't just be because of that, because a lot of the fan consensus was that he was too young.
Yeah.
So, and if it's just us and we're used to the older, like the newer games rather than the older Uncharted games, then I could see us being like, well, that's not the Nathan we know. But when it's a lot of people saying the same thing,
yeah, I mean,
it does feel like the casting was just off. But the story was like you say, the story was in line, so it's not terrible.
Personally,
I just think it's just not perfect.
Personally, I'd say it's almost perfect.
Yeah, if they swap the casting round, and that, then it would have been perfect.
What are you thinking? I'm kind of it's on the bottom of almost perfect. High good enough for me.
That's what I was thinking. It's better than Mortal Kombat. I'm not sure about Borderlands.
It's more accurate than Borderlands.
Then yeah, it would be high good enough, low almost perfect. We can put it in almost perfect and see if we put any of the other two in almost perfect.
Yeah.
Don't think that's gonna happen. But I think it's under Detective Pikachu.
Yeah.
But because they cast up great, but their story wasn't in line with the game. Whereas their story was in line with the game, but the casting was off. So
Yeah.
I think it's just, I think it does sit there.
Yeah.
It looks like we've got a very even thing so far.
I know.
I'd like to take a moment out from the video just to say, if you haven't already, please subscribe and like the video and comment your opinions on our rankings. Now, back to the video and enjoy. This is your hot take.
Okay. Super Mario Bros. I hate it. I actually hate it. I hate the film so much with a passion. Everyone else I talk to, oh yeah, I love this film. Such a good film. Such a good no, not in the slightest. So it starts off. Yeah, it starts off with Mario being pulled into, the Super Mario world. Yeah, cool, whatever. Do whatever, okay? Chris Pratt, he did an alright job voice acting. I like him as Mario. I get that you feel like
I haven't watched it, not because I haven't heard anything bad about anything. It's just because Chris Pratt's been voice acting a lot of characters that I think should have gone to other people, and that's no slight on Chris Pratt. I think that the original voice actor for Mario was still around. I think they should have used him, and I think that would have made some of the experience better. But I can't offer any opinion other than that because, like I said, didn't watch the film.
Yeah. So the voice acting, like, I like Chris Pratt, but Chris Pratt, but as I said, as Ethan said, the top, well, no, Ashley's the top nerd. Anyway, as Ethan said, it should have gone to an Italian actor or the original voice actor or something like that, and then Mario, yeah, instead of the entire story is usually, oh yeah, let's go and save Princess Peach. Instead, oh yeah, Bowser has an entire bloody army that's about to overtake whatever.
So it becomes a chosen one.
Yeah.
Trope then.
And Princess Peach trains Mario. In what universe does Princess Peach train Mario?
That one, apparently.
It's actually like it drives me insane. It drives me up the wall. And it's like, why does Bowser have a musical number?
Because it's Jack Black.
I get that it's Jack Black. Jack Black, love Jack Black. But oh yeah, is Bowser? Is he or is he not? Oh yeah, I'm big evil man. I kidnap princess.
Yeah, he is.
So why are they trying to humanize him?
I don't know. All I can say is the song's catchy as fuck.
It might be catchy, but also it's not Bowser. Yeah, Mario is. It's not Mario. He don't feel like Mario, which again, that's writing in my opinion. And like the only character that they got right, semi-right, was Donkey Kong, and that's because he showed up for like 5 bloody minutes. It's just, I hate this film. Genuinely, I hate this film.
So yeah, that is Oakley's hot take on Super Mario Brothers. I know a lot of people would have put that a lot higher. I know a lot of people actually rave about this film, but like I said, I haven't seen it. It might seem a bit petty not to watch it for that reason. It's just sometimes when you don't feel a film, you don't watch it. So
which is respectable.
But yeah, I might have to go away and watch this film to see if it's as bad as Oakley says it is, and see if I would have put it in terrible or not.
I paid to watch this film.
So, whichever cinema Oakley went to watch this film, he wants his money back.
I've watched some bad films. I've paid to watch some bad films. But I've never hated a film ever. Other than this. Okay, that's enough ranting.
So yeah, I mean, if that is the case where she doesn't get kidnapped, you've missed the whole point of the Mario thing. Like, to the point where memes online say, "Has Mario not figured out Princess Peach is just having an affair with Bowser?"
I think that she gets kidnapped for 5 minutes of the film.
Like, literally, there's memes online with Princess Peach's real boyfriend dressed in a Bowser costume.
Yeah.
Being like, seriously, he still buys this? Like, if that has become the meme, then I'm sorry. That is the premise of the game, and you missed the point. As I said, can't really say anything on it. Hi guys, Future Ethan here. If you were wondering why World of Warcraft had already been ranked but you hadn't seen it, it's because something happened with the video and it actually didn't include the World of Warcraft ranking bit. So, I'm just going to talk through why we put World of Warcraft in the good enough category. Basically, from my recollection, the problem with the World of Warcraft movie, because Oakley hadn't seen it, was that it focused too much on the animosity between the orcs and the humans and didn't really develop anything. And while it is a video game adaptation, it is also a movie, and it was a good enough video game adaptation. It had enough things for people that had played World of Warcraft. But as a movie, there was too much game jargon for a latent moviegoer to understand what was going off, for it to be almost perfect or perfect. I think for it to be in those two categories, it needs to strike a balance of being able to be a good movie and a good adaptation. Whereas I think the World of Warcraft movie was a good adaptation, but it wasn't a good movie for the average moviegoer. It also relied too heavily on trying to be Lord of the Rings a little bit. And I know I'm not the only person that saw that. This is based, again, solely on recollection of when I first watched this film. I haven't seen it since, so I could be missing the mark. Let me know in the comments if I am missing the mark, but I think that it should have developed more of a way around explaining like the history of the Warcraft universe for the latent moviegoer, and then I could have put it in almost perfect, because it would have still had the drawback of focusing too heavily on the humans versus orcs faction part, which I think a lot of Warcraft fans, including myself, thought was kind of the more boring aspect of the World of Warcraft mythos. Again, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but that is why we put World of Warcraft where World of Warcraft is. So, yeah, now everything's been explained. Hopefully you enjoyed the content, and see you in the next one. But that is where we would rank those 10 movies and one TV show. Where would you put them? Let us know in the comments. I would love to know where you would put them. I was trying to think of the words.
Yeah.
I would love to know where you would all put these, and which one is your perfect movie, because it looks like Sonic. It's ours.
Let me know if you disagree with me on Mario.
Join the Discord, which I will put linked in the description, and you can yell at him about his take on Mario.
Yep.
But with that, I would like to say to you all, thank you for watching. Stay nerdy, stay healthy, and see you in the next one.